field over toward the line. Long run for Laureano, and he runs it, and the Mets win the ball game.
Episode 72 of the Boroughs. Thank you for patiently waiting as we start 15 minutes late here. That is on me. Some stuff that I was trying to do last minute, but we're here now, and it's August 19th, Tuesday. We're back from a weekend, and finally a positive one for the Yankees and Mets with night off last night. So we'll break down the weekend, talk about the weeks ahead, discuss everything going on with the team, start with the Yanks. As always, I'm Kevin Bunk, joined by Michael Merlo. And Mike, we're kind of in a good place today. We thought last week, about a week ago today, or a week ago yesterday, we were kind of depressed doing the show. Kind of in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I think I texted you Friday that we were done. Like, at least I was done.
You were definitely done.
I was going to be out completely, but no, feeling good now. You know, nice couple of days there for the Mets, and the Yankees obviously had a fun weekend in St. Louis, taking care of business, doing what they needed to do, and, you know, you're feeling good now.
You win all three of those games. Yankees are back in second place if you go by win percentage, and they are tied with Boston, really, and everything. They have to play them later this week, so we'll talk about that. But you got to feel good about the Yankees finally getting a sweep, finally having a nice weekend, build that moral victory. They get 2 against the Rays, then it's a week with Boston, or a weekend with Boston. And I just feel good that we can talk about a couple wins and a couple positives. So
it's
we're
two against the Rays right now.
2 against the Rays, yep.
And then it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Sox?
I believe so. Let me double check.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it is the 4-gamer this weekend. Yeah, 4-gamer with Boston, which is definitely their biggest series of the year. You got them at Yankee Stadium for 4 games. And both teams should be looking to win 3 out of 4 on that. I don't think either team has a reason to think less. They should both be looking to win 3 out of 4, and the teams are close. Yankees struggled with them earlier in the year, but that's a huge series. They play them again in Fenway for 3 in September, in the second week of September. So that'll probably be their biggest series of the year when that comes around.
It's a nice stretch, too, because you're going from Houston to Toronto to Detroit to Boston.
Yep. And then
not all road of just those are the 4 teams you play back to back to back to back.
And then their last 2 weeks are going to be fairly easy. You know, Minnesota for 3, White Sox for 2, Baltimore for 6. So that's a pretty easy stretch to finish. Let's see how they fare over these next 3 weeks. And their finish in August is going to be very important, with the White Sox for 4 at the end of the month and Washington for 3 next week after the Boston series. So this past weekend was a good one. A lot of positives. And I want to start with Ben Rice, because he is just the biggest surprise of this year, the most pleasant surprise, rare Yankees successful hitter development story, because last year he was not great. I get he was unlucky, but I did not think he was a very good player. I would not have counted on him at all. I don't think they did. And if Stanton never gets hurt before the season, does Rice ever play? Do we ever learn that this is the Ben Rice they have? And he's really made the most of his moment this year. And what a game on Friday. Just an absolute monster performance, or on Saturday.
Yeah, he was great. And, you know, it's funny. He gets off to that really hot start this year, and you're like, wow, what do we have? And then he cooled off, and he was not that same player. And that was obvious. He had a 900, 1,000 OPS at one point in April. You knew that wasn't going to last. But then he really took a dip. He wasn't that same guy at all. And now he's starting to settle in and become the hitter that I think, you know, it may be an optimistic outlook on what he could be, but, you know, there's a chance this is what he is, an 800 OPS guy and a very productive offensive player for them.
And I'm confident that he's, you know, like a 760 OPS guy or better now. I'm very confident that's his kind of floor, or maybe what he'll regress to throughout his career. But you have a guy who is definitely an incredibly turn that light off. Incredibly valuable 6 through 8 hitter in your lineup. I don't know why Boone hits him 2 every night still. I'm really not on board with that. But he's a guy that in the middle of your order, in the 5 through 7, 6 through 8 spot, it's a really valuable bat. And I just don't know where he plays the next few years, but I think he's got to be a part of the Yankees.
Well, right now he has to catch, because I'm looking at these. Listen, Wells could be as bad as of a defender as Wells is a hitter. It doesn't matter. Wells' offensive numbers are so disgusting. I don't know how this guy still plays. I really don't. Can I read a couple of these numbers off for you?
Let's do it.
Last 28 days for Austin Wells. He's 6 for 51 with 1 homer, 2 RBIs. He's hitting 118 with a 375 OPS. Are you kidding me?
He's awful. He's awful.
How do you still play? How are you still in the lineup?
And right now, I'm at the point with these two guys where Rice has to play the first 7 innings of every game. And if they have a lead, you put Wells in because defensively, he is much better than Rice. And Rice does not look super comfortable behind the plate, even in the games where he doesn't make a mistake. But we absolutely need Rice in this lineup every day. And Paul Goldschmidt, too, has been having a better second half of the summer now. And he is one of your top 8-9 bats easily. Wells is your worst bat. He's the worst hitter on the Yankees.
It's incredible. It's incredible, especially from how we started too. The production was there, the offensive numbers were there, and now it's just he's impossible. He's impossible to get into that lineup.
And I think you look through these last 2 years. I mentioned this, I believe, on this show last week, but you had so many young catchers. Augustin Ramirez is one of them, and you had all these young guys. Wells was the guy you went with, and it was the proper lane of development. Like, he was the guy in the minor leagues. He was the high draft pick. He was everything, the left-hander that you wanted. But if you just would have ended up keeping Narvaez or somebody, if they had a right-handed bat that was good at catcher, it would be a totally different conversation. But Wells is a left-handed bat. He sucks at the plate, and Rice is a left-handed bat. And he's really good at the plate. He's giving you good at-bats. And Wells, I'm done with after this year. I really don't think they should bring him back. I think they should go in a different direction at catcher in the offseason.
How has Rice been, in your mind, defensively at catcher?
Not good. I don't think he's very good. He only has thrown 1 runner out. He's like 1 for 12 throwing guys out. He threw a guy out at third base, too. I don't know if he can throw guys out down the lane at second. But he doesn't do a great job blocking. He doesn't look comfortable, too. That's the optics of it. He doesn't look totally comfortable. And he's a big dude for catcher. He's a really big guy. So I don't love him back there. Wells is definitely better. And Boone's going to have to go to the defensive substitution with Wells. Wells has to be on the team, or somebody has to be there in the playoffs. It's going to be Wells. But Rice does not look very comfortable behind the plate. But his bat's giving you way too much to keep him off the field.
Trying to find Escara's number, see if they're any better.
He hasn't played much at all.
No,
he was down in AAA.
Yeah,
not better at all. But defensively, you need to have an actual real catcher. Rice, this is the issue with Rice, is moving forward. You have to really make a decision with Stanton after this year, because I don't think Rice should be the everyday first baseman or catcher.
Yeah.
But his bat needs to be there almost every
day. You would make him the DH.
I would want him to do a mix of all of it with a lot of DHing involved.
Okay.
But I'm also curious how they approach their first base position this offseason now, because you don't have to desperately pay for a top guy, for Naylor, for Murakami to come play a corner infield for you now that you have Rice.
Yeah, but it feels like they've been infatuated with Murakami for a little while now.
It does feel that way. And if you got him, fine, but then you really do have to move Stanton, because he's got a year left on the deal. You know what, too? You know what's weird? I didn't even want to talk about this today, but Stanton's like really bought into the not playing every day thing. And they were asking about pinch hitting and how this year he's been a great pinch hitter.
Yeah.
But in the past, he was awful. And he said it's just something about not playing every day, that you're always an everyday player. And when you're not playing, you're kind of taking it as a complete day off mentally. But now, every day, I'm ready to go whenever they need me.
It's funny how this conversation is going to change. How, for years we have been saying that this contract's been a liability and they should try and get rid of him, and whatever they can, if they could get rid of it, eat the contract, they should do it. And now it kind of feels like the opposite's going on here, where, the contract is lessening up now. It's not as much money. It would be a tough loss, I think, if they were to get rid of him right now with how great he's been offensively after this season. If it works out roster-wise, fine, but the production overall, they might have to keep him.
He's still one of the best bats in baseball,
it's
too.
It's insane how good he's been.
It's crazy because 2 years ago, he was awful. And I want to pull up the stats right now. But 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he was terrible. I think it was 2 years ago in 2023. But he has really changed his entire approach and swing. 191 average with a 275 on base in 2023. His OPS was 695. And you thought the contract was just done. You thought he was toast. 24 homers, 60 RBIs, which was like a miracle in his 101 games played.
Yeah.
But those were like his only hits were just a couple 3-run home runs. And now he's got a 300 batting average, 377 on base, 953 OPS, 576 slug. He's got 12 homers and 34 RBIs in 44 games.
Yeah.
He's been one of the best hitters in baseball. So it is tough to get rid of him.
And he's back tonight. He's going to play right field tonight and then have off tomorrow to get ready for the Red Sox series.
And I will say,
play right tonight.
I saw this tweet the other day, and I do actually agree with it. If there's one guy on the Yankees I really want to see get a ring, it is Stanton, because he has kind of been their leader. I know he's not the captain and everything, but he's been like the leader and the greatest ambassador of the Yankee way the last 7-8 years.
I mean, it's all opinion. It's all opinion, but I think for the legacy that Aaron Judge is going to leave behind, he's going to end up being one of the greatest hitters of all time. He needs to have a ring for you to have those conversations and have something to back it up with. He's going to need a ring.
There's just a part of me emotionally that's like, this is really going to suck if 2 years from now he's not on the team and he didn't get that title, because Stanton is just, he's everything you could have wanted as a Yankee. I know he doesn't play the field. I know he can't run the bases.
That I'm going to push back on a little bit. I'll defend Stanton. He's not everything you could have wanted.
I think he is. I think he's what you could have asked for in this contract.
He DH'd for so long. He was always hurt. I mean, there were a couple of underwhelming seasons. I don't think he's everything you could have ever asked for.
I think in the playoffs, he's been their best player.
He's been the best player in the playoffs.
Nothing
to say about that.
Just the fact that he's one of those guys that can go out, have a bad slump, get booed out of the building, and just wear it. You know, he's just been such a consummate professional Yankee, and these contracts never live up to their billing overall.
I mean, and maybe from that aspect of things, okay. Maybe from that aspect,
that's what I'm going for. It sucks that he couldn't play left field for longer.
Not the overall player and production that you got offensively and defensively.
No, because from 20, he had the 2020 year, he really didn't even play in the shortened season. 2019, he only played 18 games. So yeah, 19-20, he had 7 combined home runs. And then in 23, he had a minus WAR. He was awful. Over 101 games. So yeah, I mean, like, he hasn't given you totally everything you would have wanted for the price tag, but Stanton's been awesome. But I digress. We'll move on here. How about talking about long contracts? Max Fried has been terrible this summer.
Bad.
He's been really bad. And there's originally the idea that he should be on the IL, but they don't have any more starting pitchers. When Ryan Yarbrough comes back, I'm shutting Fried down for 10 days.
Yeah, I'm looking yesterday. I saw it was Cutter's King post a little rage bait, and I was like, is this true? And it was Max Fried as a higher ERA than Brian Bello. I'm like, all right, but the ERA plus, like the innings pitched, is not going to line up. And then I look, and the ERA plus is higher too. And I was like, okay, what is going on here? And it really, like, I had known Fried was struggling. I didn't know it was because of a swollen hand, but I knew he was struggling a little bit, and I didn't realize it was to this extent. He's completely out of the Cy Young race, which is a great one in the American League. I mean, not even close to that anymore. It's Crochet, Skubal, Evaldi, DeGrom, Hunter Brown. No more Fried.
No, and realistically, even if he kept up at somewhat of the pace he was at, those guys are just better.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get over those guys.
Those guys are just
maybe Brown, but
maybe Brown, yeah, but Crochet and Skubal are on a ridiculous track as lefty aces right now.
Yeah, it's crazy how the season kind of turned for him, though.
Yeah, and to Brian Baez's credit, he's actually having a really nice year. After a slow start.
That's big.
So that's huge for the Sox. But Fried, man, this is not good, because now you don't feel great about your potential postseason rotation because he's not pitching well. But Will Lawrence pitched really well. Schlittler's had a couple nice starts. So the young guys have picked it up on the back end a bit. And Rodon had a great start last week. But Fried has just been... Now when he goes out there, I still feel good when he's the pitcher for the day, because it's Max Fried. But it's just not been good at all.
Yeah.
It's been a bad 6 weeks.
How was Heel on Friday night?
Heel was good. He just, at the end of his start, just gets to a place where he's walking way too many guys.
Okay.
But he was good. He got through 5 with like 62 pitches or 63 pitches. He was working really fast. And then the 6th inning, he started to unravel a little bit. But his pitch count's not much higher than that right now anyways, his pitch limit. So, I mean, it makes sense. He's losing stamina. But you could tell he could only get through the lineup twice. Yeah. Joe Girardi read, I should have wrote him down. He read on that game his first 2 times through the order stats and his 3rd time through the order stats. And first 2 times, you're getting the pitcher from last year. But his 3rd time through the order, he's like lucky to get through 2 or 3 batters.
Yeah.
The 3rd time through the order right now because it's been so bad.
Interesting.
So I'm hoping that's a stamina thing.
Yeah, it might be. Just coming back from the injury and gaining that confidence again. And how about, speaking of confidence, Devin Williams Friday night looked real good. That was big.
And now the nice part with Williams is the stakes are all lower even for us. He's not going to get the 9th inning. Now that Bednar's in it, it's Bednar's.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to go back to Williams. And he now has to try and do 2 things. One, for himself, is he has to try and salvage some of this for a contract this offseason because Williams still never got the big deal.
Yeah.
So he's got to salvage some of this for some money this offseason. And for the Yankees, they might end up getting a pretty good 6th inning guy in October.
Well, yeah, the thing is he's not coming in the 7th or 8th inning. I mean, you know who has those innings. You know it's Duvall or Weaver, however you want to shake it. So now where does Devin Williams fall into this? And can he become a valuable piece leading up to those guys if need be, if your starter can't go deep?
Yeah.
It's, listen, he could be a massive problem. I understand that, but it could also be a weapon.
And Duvall has struggled too. So I'm a little, he's a walk machine, this guy.
Yeah, but the stats the last 2 years showed that.
And you know what's weird is he doesn't care about the pitch clock.
Really?
And I was listening to the radio on Wednesday, during the last Twins game that they lost. And he was pitching and he loaded the bases. Or no, he had 2nd and 3rd and he had a 3-2 count and he got a pitch clock violation. And Susan Waldman said, I spoke to some coaches he had in San Francisco, and they said he pitches at his own pace and will not mind the pitch clock. He does not care about it. If he gets the violation, fine, but he's going to go at his own pace. That's not cool.
6.43 ERA, 7 innings, 8 runs, 7 hits, 6 walks, and 8 strikeouts in those 7 innings.
Yep. And he's got great stuff. You could see it. I mean, he pumps 103-mile-an-hour cutter every other pitch. You know, when he just doesn't know where it's going. You remember that year with Diaz 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where you were like, he has no idea where this ball's going.
Yeah.
This is Duvall. He has no clue where the pitch is going.
You know what's funny? When they traded for him, I was like, this is so weird because it feels like they gave up nothing.
And you texted me that right away.
I was like, what's wrong? Me and you both said, what's wrong? This guy led the league in saves in 2023. And now, like, looking back on it, 2024, he was not good. He was not good last year. And, like, he was fine with the Giants, like, having a nice year. The walks were high, but having a nice, solid year.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm starting to see why he really wasn't traded for much.
I think I'm starting to see why. And
I think I'm starting to see it a little bit.
A lot of times, it's one of those things where we will say, oh, Yankees got really good value on that. But the rest of Major League Baseball probably checked in on that trade and checked in on the availability of Giants players, and that was just the going rate for him. There were probably no teams interested in giving up much of anything for Camilo Duvall because he's seemingly turned into a big project.
It's insane. It's literally insane. And, like, you look at what the Mets gave up. You look at what the Mets gave up for Rodgers, and you think, oh, wow, that was a lot. And you started to realize it wasn't the more you looked at it.
Yep.
But the Mets clearly got the better reliever. I mean, the Mets clearly got the better late-inning relief pitcher in Rodgers. And maybe the Yankees gave up less. I don't really know from that perspective, but it's fascinating to look at right now.
Yep, absolutely is. So Duvall struggling. Yankees pen, though, overall has been solid. Weaver has looked good. He's back to where he is. And Bednar has looked pretty good as well for the most part. So I'm confident in the bullpen. What else do I have here? Oh, Jason Dominguez.
Yeah, can we talk about this?
Yeah, we forgot to talk about it last week. We wanted to. We got to talk about it today. I think I'm at the point where I would probably look to trade him this offseason.
I get the fact that he's 22. I get that this is his first real season in the major leagues. I understand that. But you've had so much time to grow as a player, as a man, as a prospect. Like, you've had all this time. You've done nothing but baseball your entire life. And you get here with an opportunity in left field, not even the more high-pressure position of center field. And it's been a struggle this year. And it's been a struggle defensively, too. He's not good defensively in left. And I know people have said he's better in center, but he's not good in left. I would worry. And I'll tell you what, if I could package him with something to get a big piece back this offseason, I wouldn't be afraid. I would not be afraid of that.
No, I wouldn't either. I would probably package him with something to get a not so big piece either. Like, I just don't think he's a great baseball player. The factor of him that I love is the stolen bases. He's got 20 stolen bases in an underwhelming offensive year. He is a good base stealer, and he's a great base runner. He's fast. He's a ridiculous athlete.
You know who else has 20 stolen bases?
Who else?
Juan Soto. Yeah. No, it's true. That's true.
Is that true?
He has 20 stolen bases.
I thought he had like 14.
He stole 20 bases this year.
Wow.
He's about to be the 5th player ever with 40 homers.
That's crazy for a DH.
Assuming he gets to 40, he's become the 5th player ever with 40 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and 100 walks in a season.
Wow. Yeah, so Dominguez doesn't do any of the other numbers, but he has the 20 stolen bases.
Yeah.
We got 20 stolen bases for $800 million cheaper.
Right.
So
yeah.
And he doesn't DH. He plays left field also.
Yeah. Well,
but
he doesn't. So.
He also feels like the worst fielder in Major League Baseball.
Dominguez. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, just an abysmal corner outfielder.
Right.
And a lot of people like to say, you put him in center field, they'll be way better next year. I don't know about that because he's so bad in left.
What has he done to deserve that, though?
I feel like if you are a naturally gifted center fielder, like Cody Bellinger,
yeah,
you could probably pick up left field over 103 games.
You would think. You'd
think you'd pick up left field by this point.
If you're a good center fielder, too.
Yeah, exactly. If you were a really great, like, I bet you Trent Grisham, who has not really played any left field this year, I bet you Trent Grisham could play left field pretty easily.
Yeah.
Probably maybe make a few errors early, 1 or 2 bad ones, have trouble reading the corner of whatever stadium he's at. 103 games and we can't play left field, I'm probably not putting him in one of the toughest center fields in baseball next year.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. And again, if the Diamondbacks called me and said Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez gets the deal done, are you doing it for Ketel Marte?
Oh, easily. It wouldn't be that little though. You'd have to probably throw in Lombard to that deal too, because you're
with
getting
those 3.
You're Spencer Jones, Dominguez, and just Dominguez. That's what you said, right?
Jones and Dominguez. You don't think?
And
that
I think
you have done?
No, not for Marte. This is an MVP level guy. Someone will give up a lot for Marte because the contract is fair too.
Nice. It's so nice. Let me pull it
Somebody will give up a lot for Marte. Because you think about it this way: Lombard after the season's probably going to be like the 24th or 25th ranked prospect in baseball.
Yeah.
Jones will be somewhere outside of the top 75.
Jones is 99 right now.
So he'll probably be somewhere outside of the top 75 after this year. And somebody in baseball will offer a top 10 prospect in the league for him, probably.
And you have to ask yourself, how much value does Dominguez currently have?
Yeah. Potentially none. And Arizona's probably looking for an arm, too.
He's a free agent in 2032. He's making $15 million next year, $12 million the year after, 2022, 22. So there's never a time where this is a bad contract. He is up there in age. He's 31 currently. So this runs through his age 38 season. But there's really never a time where he's this awful. It's an awful contract.
It's never an awful contract. You think I'm just going to throw some names out there now because I pulled up the top prospects. Top 10 guys next year. Our boy, Andrew Painter. You think Dave Dombrowski might not just lose cannon this offseason?
He could, apparently, since he's been bad, according to you. You hate Andrew Painter.
Painter stinks.
So.
He's washed he's washed at 22.
So
and
you would make the deal.
He's a top 10 prospect. So you think Dombrowski doesn't just go for it like that? Somebody's going to go for it. You know, Milwaukee could totally go for that. They have 2 top 15 prospects, both of whom
they're not
going to
do
young.
It, but yeah.
But one of those teams are going to get aggressive for it. And then,
how about this one? Chicago doesn't want to pay Kyle Tucker. They just go ahead and make that move.
That
they give you Matt Shaw. It's built around Matt Shaw and a couple of other prospects.
Yep, that could happen. And then Lombard. Okay, Lombard right now is a 25th ranked prospect in baseball. So you probably have to include him because you're getting a middle infielder. And if I'm Arizona, I'm saying you got to include him.
Yeah.
Because I'm giving you a guy who has literally been the best middle infielder in baseball the last 3 years.
Third in MVP.
And not only is he a middle infielder, you can play him at second base, sure. You can play him anywhere else. He plays really well everywhere.
He's having another great year. He's having a better year. He missed time this year, but he's having almost as good as a year as he did last year.
I mean, Ketel Marte has probably turned into one of the most underrated players in baseball. And I think for a team to get him, you definitely have to give up top prospects. Plus, because now you're getting one of the 10 or 15 best position players in the league for the next 7 years on a really good annual value.
In only 92 games, he's 11th in F4 with 4.3. 92 games. That's the least out of anybody in the top 10.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's 92.
You have to give up a lot for him.
Also, can I just throw this question out here?
Yeah.
Looking at the F4 list right now, Fangraphs WAR.
Mm-hmm.
The 9, 10, and 11. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Geraldo Perdomo, yep. Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte. All Diamondbacks, by the way.
Wow.
9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10. 9, 10, 11, excuse me. 9, 10, 11.
Is
that not crazy?
Players. For position players, right?
All position players. It's because their pitching stinks.
Pitching's awful. And they had Naylor. They had
Naylor.
Suarez.
They're not on this list, of course, but yes.
No, but I mean, that's I you know how high I was on them before the season.
Yeah,
I said they could be a top 2-3 team in the league.
You love
brutal stuff. I'm looking at the rest of this. I mean, Judge. One of the last things I want to talk about in Yankees section of the show. Judge's MVP case, alive or dead?
Why wouldn't it be alive? Who's taking it over?
Well, it's become a social media discussion. I've seen a lot of baseball fans saying Riley's like the runaway now.
No, I don't think it's Riley yet. Riley didn't do enough while Judge was hurt. And then didn't Riley get hurt for a little bit? He was a little banged up.
Riley's only better in home runs and RBIs. He's not better in anything else.
No, it's still Judge. It's still Judge's to lose. Now, if Judge doesn't play the field the rest of the year and he continues to slump, okay, maybe. But I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to start playing the field soon, and he's going to get hot. And when he gets hot and he goes on a run, and he gets to 50 home runs, most likely, it's not even going to be close.
And Riley defensively this year, I don't think is having the year he had last year. Let me just pull it up quick.
I could tell you. Not as good, but still good.
Still good, but not as good. Yeah, I don't know if he's really like the platinum glover.
No, but still good.
We've seen him be, but catcher's going to add to it. And when you talk about WAR, if you want to go by WAR, if that's a stat you're into, which I like it a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
The highest adjusted position is catcher. Right field is a negatively adjusted position.
And Judge still leads him in WAR.
And Judge still leads him by 0.4.
Yeah.
Which is a solid few games.
It's still Judge. It's still Judge.
Judge.
It's still Judge until I say so.
And I'll go back to what I always say. If you ask 30 GMs in baseball who they want this year, they're taking Judge.
They're taking Judge.
And that's no disrespect to Cal Raleigh, but he is just having a great season in the midst of one of the best careers we've ever seen.
They're taking Volpe. That's what they're taking.
Taking Volpe.
He struggled big time.
Yeah, but he's coming back.
No,
he's coming back.
OPS under 700 again. I mean, it's just a joke.
It's a career 695 guy. It's not going to change.
It's not going to change.
Yankees. I don't think I have anything else. I think maybe they overtake Boston this week. I feel good about their chances of finishing above Boston on the end of the season, but division, I think they're going to make one last run at it. Don't think they win it, but I think we'll get to a point where the Yankees are, 3 games back of the division, 2.5 games back, and you're saying, they got a chance.
To do that, they'd have to beat Toronto, and they don't like to do that this year. So,
well, I don't think they play Toronto again.
They do.
Real killer. They do?
Yeah, one more time.
First week of September?
Yeah. During the Red Sox, Toronto, Detroit, Houston.
Yes,
stretch.
You just said that, yeah. They play Toronto one more time.
So to overtake Toronto, you have to beat Toronto. So we'll see.
Yeah, gonna have to beat them. They can't do that this year. They can't beat Boston this year either. So
yeah, that's gonna be tough. I'm really excited for that series this weekend. That's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
And the Mets are also the Mets are on the road, and they're playing a team that they never beat in the Braves. So it'll be nice.
Braves, scary.
Yeah,
scary team.
Not really.
Let's go Mets here. Let's roll through. Mets, how you feeling about the weekend?
Yeah, we might be back. I mean, the bullpen was really killing them for a little while there. They just were blowing leads. It became laughable at one point, sitting in Atlantic City Friday night when they blew the lead to the Mariners, and it got completely out of hand. And you're just sitting there like, how is this happening every single night? It almost feels impossible. And then Saturday and Sunday, they were able to get leads, hold leads, and Helsley looked good on Sunday. You just got to get these guys right. Like, they're good players. They're good players, whether it's the pitchers, whether it's the bullpen pieces, whether it's the offense we'll talk about in a little bit. Like, these are good, talented players, and they just needed to get right. And I think it's the same thing with these bullpen pieces that they traded for. They just have to get right.
Are you worried about Helsley?
I mean, I am a little bit, but they got to keep trotting him out there. They have to get him going, because without him, it's going to be tough to build that bridge to Diaz.
Yeah, I'm worried about Helsley a little bit. Don't know if he's taxed. A little bit older pitcher. He's pitched a lot of innings in his career, a lot of playoff teams.
Sunday was a good sign.
Sunday was a good sign.
Now you have to keep going. And I don't know if I'd bring him into crazy high leverage situations. Mendoza was forced to bring him in to Friday after he blew it on Thursday. He was forced. He had no choice. He blew it Thursday against the Braves. Now it's Friday. It's a 1-run game against the Mariners in the 7th. He had no choice. He had to go to him, and he blows it. I mean, it was in his head at that point.
It was. Starting pitching, you feeling a little better?
I'm feeling really good. I mean, I got to say this. I've been waiting to say this for 4 days now with Noah McLean. I haven't been this excited about a pitcher since the Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, Steven Matz days. I really haven't been this excited about watching a young pitcher. And by the way, there's 2 more coming. Jonah Tong is coming. Brandon SPROAT is coming. And Tong a little bit more hyped than the other guys. But McLean's got it. I mean, he has got it. And how much fun was he to watch Saturday? And what a moment for him. He was great. The swing and miss stuff, the way that ball moves like a Frisbee. And he's got a good fastball, too, with life. It's exciting. And this is a guy that could potentially save your season in terms of your starting pitching.
This is why this offseason, don't expect – if starting pitching is the reason the Mets season fails this year, if it's the reason they fall short, you cannot expect Stearns to go get starters, and he shouldn't either. Next year is the year for the Mets to have these young pitchers throw and have the young pitchers fill out the rotation in the place that there's holes. You have a couple guys under control. You have MANAEA, of course, you gave the longer-term contract to with the 3-year deal. He's going to be back next year. You have guys that are going to be here that are veterans, and then you got to get the young guys in too. So Mets fans who are expecting them to go out and pay for pitching because the starting pitching struggled this summer, it's not realistic, and it's not something that I'm going to criticize Stearns for not doing either, because you have great young talent here. You absolutely do. And it's time for McLean and for SPROAT and for Tong to show what they've got. And McLean's the first of the movement, but this could be the huge catalyst that moves the Mets from, and not this year, but moves the Mets from they're a top 5-6 team to that's the team to beat. Because you think about homegrown talent, and I've always said this with the Yankees, and I've always said it with the Dodgers. Mets are in the conversation now too. Homegrown talent with owners who spend, you still need homegrown talent. It's absolutely vital to have when you spend 300 millions plus still. You need to have those guys, and especially in the starting pitching. Mets have it. Next few years is going to be fun to watch these guys.
It's so important, especially with the starting pitching. You know, when you're able to have cheap, controllable starters that can give you big time starts and become, you know, elite guys like they project, I think, Tong and at least McClean to be. Like, yeah, like that's almost, it's invaluable. It's so valuable. It's insane because those guys on the open market go for $30-40 million a year. So, and it's been a while since they've developed big time starting pitching and really seen the benefits of it at the major league level. It's fun. And yeah, they're really not going to spend much money this offseason, Kevin. They're not going to do that much. And they're going to have to probably rebuild the bullpen because they have guys on 1-year contracts. That's about it.
That's what it's going to be. Who are the big free agents this offseason besides Tucker and
Brandon Woodruff's going to be a free agent.
yeah.
Bregman could become a free agent. Do you think he's going to become a free agent, by the way?
That's tough.
It's a really tough question.
I think he might. So. I think he might because he might just go. His agent's going to put out the feeler before he decides, and he might get some interest in like a 5, 6, 7 year deal. Somewhere.
Maybe because it's such a weak class that maybe he goes. Yep. Maybe he's like, all right, this is the off season to get the big deal.
Is Edwin Diaz going to opt out?
Hey, there's a chance.
Or is it a club option or a player?
No, it's a player option. There's a chance he does. He's at $18 million a year.
They'd keep him too, but I think they would.
Would you?
Him. I would. He's so good.
He's so good, but what are the chances he has another 2 or 3 years like this? And what are you going to be paying him? I don't think Stearns is going to pay him because Stearns would have never gave that contract out.
Isn't Yohan Duran a free agent also?
No, it's next year.
It's next year, okay. Yeah, I don't know with Diaz.
I don't think they pay him. I think I don't know if he. I think he'll opt out, but I'm not 100%. Sure.
I think that could be one of those Cohen moments where it's like, just pay him because if he stinks, we'll eat it. Just pay him.
How is that not? And I don't want to have this conversation because they're having this conversation on the Fan all week after Pete Alonso hits the home run. But how is that not the conversation with Pete? We're gonna have it with the closer.
True.
But we're not going to have that conversation where we'll just eat it if he's bad the last 2 years. With Pete Alonso, a guy that could potentially have 450, 500 home runs.
You're right.
Met.
It should be the conversation with both.
It shouldn't. I wouldn't have the conversation with Diaz. If Diaz wants to go and wants a crazy amount of money, I'm not giving that kind of money to a closer.
Well, you know what? There's an easy pivot at closer, too. Devin Williams is a free agent. You bring Helsley back.
Yeah, sure. Rogers. I want Rogers in the 9th.
Chapman or Aldis Chapman. But yeah, the Mets are going to spend on the bullpen. Pete's an interesting one, man. Like, I'm really fascinated to see what ends up happening with Pete. Out of all of the free agents this offseason, all the guys, Pete's the player that I'm going to keep my eye on the most because it's crazy that the Mets with the owner, the best part of Cohen and having an owner is you typically don't lose guys that you want to keep. And you shouldn't have to even think about it with Alonso. And
but it's the president. It's who you hired. And I'm not saying it's this bad thing. It's the president that they hired does not pay these kinds of players.
Yep. Alonso's a must keep. He's an all-time Met.
He's got to be an all-time Met because you let the last all-time Met go. You know, the reason why this record that he broke is such a joke is because they let Darryl go. Now, obviously, there were other issues. I understand that. But you left the one great home run hitter you truly had go, and that's why the record's a joke.
And I was going to say,
let him go.
Like, this is how records grow. This is why records get so big. It's
like, again, Soto will break it. Lindor might break that, you know, but Lindor might be 2. Who the hell knows?
If they keep Alonso, Soto's not even going to break it either. If they keep Alonso for the rest of his career.
Nah, Soto's getting like 600 total.
With the Mets?
No, like
that's what I'm saying. Like with the Mets,
how many home runs do you think Alonso's going to hit if they keep him for 5 more years?
He probably is going to hit 200 more.
So you don't think Soto can hit 400 home runs in the next 14 years?
That's That's a lot. 400's a lot, and Soto could do it. 400's just a big number. Like, there's a very good chance he also, if Alonso ends up with 450, that's a lot of home runs to hit. Especially, like, let's say Soto's got 10 or 11 years of really good baseball left. It's 40 home runs a year plus.
The one thing is, which is really funny, which I actually agreed with, was a lot of people said, well, don't be surprised if Soto never hits 40 home runs again or comes close to it.
Oh, I said that too. I thought he'd come close. I thought there was a chance he'd never do it again. He's going to do it this year.
He's never really been a home run kind of guy, like just homers, which is true, which was not crazy. And he's probably going to do it again this year. Mm-hmm. And he hit 35 in 2023. People are completely overreacting to the seasons that he's having. I understand that he hasn't been great with runners in scoring position. And this is just a 2025 thing, in my opinion. Like, it's just, this is what it's going to be, at least in the regular season. And he doesn't really have that big moment. He doesn't have that big, massive hit yet this season. And he's going to have it, but he hasn't had it yet. But he's had a really good season. Maybe not great, but 881 OPS, on bases there. He's been good. He's been really good.
Yeah, no, he's having a great year. He needs 10 more home runs to get to 40. He'll probably do it.
And the stolen bases, 20. That's huge. We'll take that.
Yeah, it's crazy to I just pulled up his baseball reference. It's wild that this guy's 26 and you have 4 uniforms in the top right.
Yeah, he's the man.
Should have been 2. Washington, good trade for Washington. I mean, now, but
yeah,
still tough. But yeah, he's having a nice year. I'm just looking at the stats right now. I was trying to think of an athlete to compare him to last night. Like, who is a comparable, really productive, but highly overhated athlete in another sport? I don't know if I'd go LeBron. the
greatest player of
literally
all time.
The greatest statistical career in sports history.
Well, Soto may end up there. Who knows?
I feel he's not, but I don't know who to compare him to. Like, you're gonna hate this. You're gonna absolutely. It's funny. The first name that popped into my mind last night.
What?
I was just thinking of overhated guys.
Go.
Thought of Dak Prescott.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I do hate that. I really do hate that.
But I don't know who I would compare Soto to. He's a very unique case.
Maybe Lamar Jackson.
I thought of him too, but Soto's got the playoff acumen. Like, who is somebody in sports that has the playoff resume, that has the regular season resume, is on their way to being a first ballot Hall of Famer, and people don't feel that way about him?
He's got the offense. He's got the playoff. Did you say playoff resume?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. That's why I was saying with Lamar, like, I don't know if I could drop that comparison.
No, because Lamar sucks in the playoffs.
Football's tough because it's like you think it's got to be a quarterback, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Burrow, Herbert, Josh Allen.
He's Burrow.
Like
he's
that.
Burrow.
Probably
he's
Burrow.
He's Burrow.
Doesn't get the love he should get, but these guys this is a monster player.
Super productive, Hall of Famer, easily. Yeah.
Burrow.
Soto. My God.
Prescott.
No, Prescott. Jesus Christ. Yeah, if he played the Giants every day. Yeah, maybe.
What else do we have here, Bats?
MANAEA hasn't been great.
Yeah, MANAEA's, you're writing, once again, hoping you can write that off in a few weeks. This is kind of his spring training still, trying to get ramped up. But
which I think is more likely the case than not, but
I think so too.
Alvarez hurt.
Alvarez looks good too.
He was the best offense. He had the highest OPS of any catcher since he came back from the minor leagues about a month ago.
Yeah, he looks really good. And I keep thinking back to my conversation with Will Thompson the week that you were away.
Yeah.
And he said on Alvarez, I said, I think Alvarez is becoming a lost cause here. And he said, complete opposite. You got to be in on Alvarez because he is a really good power hitter. He just wasn't showing it. And he had to go down to AAA, get right. So, I mean, he looks great right now, Alvarez. Like, he looks, like you can't give up on him at all yet.
Yeah. I can't believe it because I'm as shocked as you are because I was kind of getting to the point where I was at on him too. But, smart people, they know more than us, Kevin. And they
most people know more than us.
They looked like they were right. They might be right.
We might now be out on that. He's stringing together overall in just 185 at bats, a nice season.
Yeah,
787 OPS, 350
what's
on
the
base,
OPS?
787.
Holy crap!
Yeah, he's spiked it.
Yeah, well, it's over 1,000 the last month,
Yep.
but still, that's crazy. Crazy.
350 on base, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs, 24 runs scored is really good in 185 at bats.
I don't know if the power numbers will ever get to where we thought they were going to be, at least especially after the first season. But he hits the ball hard and he hits it into the gap, especially that right center field gap. And he might be a 15, 20 home run guy, but a potential 750, 800 OPS because he's got the extra base hits.
Yep, he's having a nice year. 438 slug, 125 OPS plus.
Yeah, they need him back. Hopefully, we haven't heard anything yet. He stayed in the game to run. We'll see what happens though. He had X-rays today, so
fingers crossed there.
Yeah.
Do you think Brett Baty's back again?
Baty looks good. How about these numbers for August here as I pull them up? You know, it's August 19th. It's been a while. You know, we were out on him.
It's been a month since our last Baty discussion.
Right. It's been a while. I do miss talking about him. And we're at 2025, the last 28 days, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, hitting. That's not it. Hold on. Sorry. That wasn't good. Here we go. Last August, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, hitting 345 with a 958 OPS, 32 in 29 at bats. I mean, he's back.
I'm going to make a Yankees comparison here, and I hate to just bring it back to the Yankees, but he's having a better year than Jason Dominguez, and you're not going to find a Yankees fan who's going to say Brett Baty's a good player.
Yeah, well, Brett Baty is a good player.
But so Yankees fans will tell you he sucks. But then they'll tell me Dominguez is really good.
Has a chance.
Has a lot of potential.
And he doesn't because Baty has the potential.
There's a 3-year age difference for sure. But Baty's played 6 less games. And he has more home runs, I think, as many RBIs. And he's better in all of the average stats.
Baty he's the man. He's absolutely the man. No, I'm kidding. But he has been a little bit better. And he really struggled in July. And that's
Mendoza saved his job this weekend. I was going to fire him, but he saved it.
You're no longer firing him.
Not firing him today, but if they missed, my point still stands. If they miss the playoffs, I'd fire him.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to miss, though. This is a big weekend for them. Reds lost a few really big games.
The Reds are only 1 game back now.
Still only 1 game back. They could have, if they were able to hold on in one of those games against Milwaukee, they could have been in that spot today.
Yeah, they could have.
But Milwaukee came up with a big win for you guys.
That was Saturday.
That was
Saturday after a big home run from some random guy to left field. Yeah, tough.
That was big time. Milwaukee's now 79-45. The second best record in baseball, 74-53.
And Lindor is hitting literally 560 in the last week.
Yeah, that's the big one. Player of the week, Lindor back.
His OPS was like 735. It's 781 now.
MVP Lindor back. And he's the guy you really need to get rolling right now.
Him and Pete.
I'm just pulling up their stats, updated on the season.
And then after that, I got nothing else on the Mets. We got a fun.
Yeah, we have a good.
Would you rather?
Good. Would you rather here? I'm in the chair today.
Yeah, Kevin's in the chair today.
I'm in the chair today.
He's taking a seat.
I'll be watching from the chair.
Wow.
For who'd you rather?
Yep. Pumped.
I have nothing else on the Mets either. So I'm good. Mets are back. Yanks are back.
We're going to go around the league still. We'll do Would You Rather right here.
Yep. Who'd you rather? And then around the league. Around the league's going today too. Kyle Tucker, a little more Ketel Marte, Manfred with the realignment, and talk a little Brewers.
Here we go. Would you rather Pete Crow Armstrong or this player? This is for the rest of the season, right? Like we were keeping that? Okay. So Pete Crow Armstrong or this player. Here we go. We start Kyle Schwarber or PCA.
Schwarber. No hesitation. I want that bet.
Okay. PCA or Julio Rodriguez.
For the
J-Rod's
rest
J-Rod's been a lot better this year. A lot better.
For the rest of the season, I'm getting good defense both sides, but I'm getting better defense from Rodriguez.
Okay.
I'm probably going to take PCA still.
Okay. I think I would agree with that.
I'm going to take PCA. But that's a good one. That's a good one.
PCA or Fernando Tatis? That's a really good one.
That's probably going to be the best one.
There's a couple more.
Really good one. I think I still might take PCA.
Really?
That's tough, man.
What do you love PCA?
I'm pulling up Tatis stats quick. Hold on. Yeah, they're about where I thought they were. But you know what's my biggest problem with PCA is the on base sucks.
Yeah, and he's been bad lately.
I'm going to take Tatis. He's got 370 on base. I'm taking Tatis.
And I know it's a different position, but you're getting great defense in right field too.
Yep, you're getting great defense. I'm going to take Tatis there.
PCA or Jose Ramirez?
Jose Ramirez. One of my guys.
PCA or Bobby Witt?
I'm going to take Witt. I'm just a big Witt guy. Not having the year we expected for him this year, but I'm
not an MVP year.
Still going to roll with Witt. And by the end of the year, Crow Armstrong might not be having an MVP year either.
Yeah, he's not going to win the MVP.
No, definitely not.
PCA or Gunnar Henderson?
I'm going to take PCA, but that's close. Gunner's having a nice summer.
Yeah, he's been a lot better. He started off the year hurt, then cold. Now he's been better.
Feels like one of the next MVP guys in the next decade in the AL.
I actually got to go. I would go Gunner there.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
PCA or Ketel Marte?
I'm going to take Marte.
Okay.
Because I get the position versatility. Not as good of a defender as PCA, but the offense is just unbelievable for Marte. He's so good.
I think I have 5 more, but it could be 2 more. PCA or Corbin Carroll?
What does that mean?
PCA or Corbin Carroll?
What does Corbin's production numbers look like right now?
He's been good this year.
He's been very good this year. Another guy, you're getting good defense. It's not a liability. I'm gonna take Corbin.
Corbin.
Well, he's 27 home runs this year too, Carroll. Yeah, I'm gonna take Corbin Carroll for sure.
Quick breaking news. Alvarez will be placed in the IL.
So upsetting.
PCA or Kyle Stowers?
Wow. Stowers been rolling.
He's been great. He's been really
your boy,
good.
Kyle
My
Stowers.
Guy.
I'm taking Stowers. He still definitely has an over 900 OPS.
Yeah.
And his production numbers are probably really close to PCA's at this point.
I'm taking Stowers.
Yeah, his production numbers right now, 25 home runs, 73 RBIs. That's really close to PCA's at 27 and 79. OPS is 100 points higher.
Last one, PCA or Soto?
Wait, before I dive into this one, is Stowers the top 3 MVP in the NL by the end of the year?
I'd have to look. I don't think so, but I'd have to look.
He's on a tear. All right. PCA or Soto? I'm thinking Soto, but
because that's still your guy. That's still your guy.
Soto's my guy. That's a Yank. He's an iconic Yankee.
No, he's not. He was never really a Yankee.
I heard he's going into the Hall of Fame as a Yankee.
When you really think about it, he was never really a Yankee.
If the Mets win like 2 or 3 World Series with Soto, and then he goes into the World Series as a Yankee, that's the end of the Big Brother debate.
17. He's 17th in F4. He's played 117 games. Stowers isn't going to end up there. It's gonna be Ohtani, PCA.
I don't think PCA is gonna end up there. He's playing so bad.
PCA Marte is what it's gonna end up being, probably.
Yeah, Marte could crack it for sure. I don't think Schwarber's gonna get there.
A Schwarber too. Schwarber will probably get there too.
I don't think he's gonna get top 3 though. What's PCA's WAR is probably still so high, right? 5.5.
Yeah, but he's mid.
Schwarber's WAR's way down at 4.
27 homers, 30 stolen bases, OPS only 80.
What about Trey Turner this year, man?
Yeah, weird year.
Season.
Weird year.
After we called him one of the worst contracts in baseball.
I still
don't like it, but man,
wholeheartedly believe in that.
I said this about last season, but this is absolutely the year for the Phillies. Like, if they don't win it this year, they might not. in this time period. And Wheeler might not pitch again.
Dude,
So that's
Wheeler has a blood clot. That is
Yeah.
insane.
I don't know how much to trust this doctor that I saw talking about it, but he was saying Wheeler's probably not going to pitch again until like the LCS or the World Series, and even then it's unlikely.
Not good. Not good for the
That's
Phils.
really bad for Phils.
And
And
Nola,
for Wheeler, who I just love, and I wanted to see have a run at the Cy Young this year.
Remember, Wheeler is like completely done with baseball after this contract. Like he's done. Like he's already said he's retiring after this.
Yeah,
year.
he wants to be done after this.
This is already somebody that is thinking about it.
It's already considering it. What year is this contract up now? It's like 2 years.
And Nola comes back from the IL Sunday in the 11:30 game in DC, and he's awful. He spotted a 6-0 lead and gives it up.
They need a boost from Nola in September. He needs to come back to being somewhat the pitcher he was.
I don't know if they can get it.
Wheeler's 35 years old. Holy.
He's an old man.
I thought he was like 31. How old was he when he came up with the Mets?
Well, he was hurt, remember?
Yeah.
He was hurt for 2 years.
Yeah, he was. You're right. Around the league?
Around the league.
Kyle Tucker's horrible. Craig Counsell
Tucker.
probably going to give him a couple games off here.
Kyle Tucker last 28 days, no home runs, 5 RBIs, 187 batting average, 213 slug, a 557 OPS. He's losing himself some money.
Lose himself a lot of money. So I have a few thoughts on his contract situation. First thought, are we witnessing the next Chris Bryant?
No.
Where his contract value totally tanks in his walk year. And after putting up pretty decent numbers to start it, and then he just ends up going to a real small market team that was the only squad really willing to pay him for a certain amount of years and just stinks after. I don't think he'd ever be as bad as Chris Bryant ended up, but I think Tucker might be going down a path where he does end up with a really odd team next season just because nobody actually wanted to give him that much. And also, from a Yankees perspective, Cody Bellinger is going to end up having a better year than this guy.
Yeah.
So would you rather sign Bellinger for the 160 that it's probably going to take, 150 after the year he has? Or do you think you can roll the dice and get more out of Tucker if he drops below 300 million, well below? I don't think he's going to get 300 million at this point.
No, I think you're completely. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're right on this. I think he's still going to get a massive contract. I think there's still time for him to turn this season around. I still think he's getting above, well into the 300s, maybe even 400. I still think there's a chance here. I would not be completely out on him. I think the conversations about him and people are still having them actually, and I'm not going to name the names about him and Soto. I think they're very funny.
Oh, God, they're ridiculous at this point. And I thought there was definitely a debate to be had at the end of last season. And it wasn't because Soto is worse than people like to make him out to be. Tucker was that great.
Yeah.
And he was probably right below Soto in any outfielder rankings or position player rankings. He wouldn't have been too far behind him.
100%.
Now it's ridiculous.
Right now it's funny. But I still think Tucker gets paid. The issue he's going to have is he's not going to have the Dodgers, he's not going to have the Mets, and he's not going to have the Yankees going after him. So who is that big time market team that is going to be sitting there saying we need to pay Kyle Tucker? That's the interesting part. And maybe that's why you might be right.
That's where I'm thinking.
Thinking on it, maybe who's that team? If
the Mets
it's not going to be the Cubs.
Mets are not going to be in on this. The Cubs are going to be out on this. Boston's going to be out on this because they have so many young outfielders.
But even if the Cubs are in on it, they're not going to go to that length.
They're not going to. The Cubs would not offer him a $300 million deal.
I think they might go 3.
After what they're going through right now, if this keeps up remotely through the end of the season, I do not think the Cubs do it. Now, the reason the Cubs might have to do it is because of the prospects they gave up and because of the package they gave up for him. And he still is a good player. Like, we're not going to sit here and say he sucks.
But he's also, him and PCA slumping at the same time are the reasons why they are currently not winning the division. Partly because the Brewers are a freak show, but it's also, the fact that they are just.
And I think the tough thing for the Cubs is you also have Suzuki and you have PCA do you want to invest as much money into the outfield in 3 or 4 years as you're going to once PCA gets paid?
Well, they're going to have to.
They're going to have to if they keep Tucker.
Well, do you think they're just saving it then for PCA, essentially?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they could.
It's a loser mentality.
It's a loser mentality, but I don't think the Cubs are a winning organization.
They're definitely a loser organization.
But you're right. The teams that are going to be out, Yankees are not going to be in on this, I don't think. The Mets, I'd be shocked if they were in on this. They're not going to be in on this.
No.
The Dodgers won't go for this after the spending they've had the last few years. And the Red Sox are going to be out. Cubs are probably going to be out. Philadelphia is, we're going to keep talking about them. They get a lot of money off their books this year. And Philly could look at that swing projecting in that park and get excited about it.
Then they might also look at, hey, Ketel Marte is available.
Yeah, that's another wrench in this for Tucker. Now the Yankees have a guy who, just thinking about potential teams, right, that could have been in on him. The Mets and Dodgers were never really going to be, probably, so rule them out. The Yankees have a guy in Bellinger that now costs a lot. They know works there. The team likes him. The front office likes him. They're going to want to keep him. So that's going to be their focal point in position players this offseason. The Red Sox have way too much young talent in the outfield. Rafaela was an absolute success this year.
Yep.
Anthony looks great. And they're not going to be looking to add an outfielder. So that leaves you with Chicago, Philadelphia. I don't think Texas would be in on this. I don't think a team like Seattle would be in on this. Trying to think of middle of the pack spenders. Houston's not going to revisit that for a long-term deal.
No,
so
they're out.
You're looking at that field, and those guys could pivot and just say, well, we want to re-sign 1 or 2 of our guys that are going to cost some money, and we want to go after Ketel Marte. So that's where we're going to fill our $40 million in spending at position players this offseason. We can get Marte for a third of that, and we can bring back Kyle Schwarber, or we can bring back one of these players that we want to bring back, and we're going to forget Kyle Tucker. And then the market starts to dwindle to a point where it is like Seattle late in the offseason saying, this guy still hasn't gotten signed. Let's go check this out. Or it is Milwaukee or somebody late in the offseason, like, oh, nobody signed this guy.
You have way too much faith in these small market teams actually making the right move.
Well, they usually don't make the right. I don't even know if Tucker's the right move. It's the Rockies doing the Bryant thing. Like, this guy, nobody's touched this guy. Let's call him up.
I don't think he's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it'll ever get that bad.
If San Diego didn't have Bogarts, I think they'd be the team.
Yeah.
But they're stuck with Bogarts. You can move Tatis back to short and put Tucker in right field. That would be a great fit. But they're stuck with Xander.
For $300 million.
Yeah, until 2034. You're not adding this Kyle Tucker contract.
That's hell. How about the Brewers, though? Does this make any sense? Does this make... And, Kevin, I'm not even talking about this from a playoff perspective. I'm just talking about this from what is going on. And I don't know if I'm fully bought in yet. I don't know if I'm fully bought in yet because I need to see it. And I don't need to see a run to the NLCS or a run to the World Series. I just need to see them win a playoff series.
Yeah.
I am still not sure if this team is capable of winning a postseason series, even though they are 110% the best team in baseball right now.
They're absolutely the best team in the league right now. It's still only August 19th, and I do worry about teams peaking early in baseball. This is a seriously early peak, but they play the best game. They run the bases the best, they pitch the best, and their situational hitting is by far the best. However, they lack the power hitting that is correlated to postseason success the last few years. So I don't know if Milwaukee is a team I'm willing to bet it all on to get to the World Series and to win it. Right now, they're definitely the best team. But it's a tough NL with San Diego and with Philly. And if the Dodgers get going and if the Mets get going, that's a gauntlet that you got to run through. And you might have the least true talent out of that group.
They're tough, man. They're so tough to play. But, as you saw last season, I mean, it's a different team, but it's a similar team in last season. And the Mets were able to go in there tired as all hell and win a playoff series. Now, they won't be dealing with a wild card, but they're going to be dealing with a division series. Does that change things? Does this change things for them going right to the DS? They're going to be the 1 seed. I don't know if this changes anything for them.
I don't know if it does. You're going to be the home team, too, in the DS. They're definitely going to be the 1 seed. They're just running away with this league right now. And they're probably going to be the only 100-game winner, 100-win team in baseball this year.
Yeah.
But I'm not sold on getting all the way there yet with the Brewers, because it really is, like we talked about Lamar before, it's like the Baltimore Ravens or a team in another sport that, they're there every year and they dominate the regular season. This is a unique regular season for Milwaukee. They've never been this great, but they dominate every year. I haven't seen it in the postseason, and I don't know if I can say it's going to happen this year.
They also, the other thing too, you bring up the other teams, like San Diego's hot, right? San Diego's hot, and they're playing really well, and they go to LA, and what happens? They get swept. And now all of a sudden, the Dodgers were cold. All of a sudden, they sweep them, and now they're in the division again. They're in the lead in the division. Like, that's how tough this National League is, and they're part of it, and they make it tough, but these teams are really good still.
And Milwaukee's only a guy with an over 810 OPS, or with over an 850 OPS, that's, really qualified kind of, is Andrew Vaughn, who's played 32 games. Yelich is their qualified leader with 806 OPS.
Yeah.
What's his name? The rookie, the kid, Collins, is going to be...
Isaac Collins has been really good.
He's going to be their best statistical guy probably by the end of the year.
Perkins is good too.
But I've never seen a team win a World Series, and I'm actually going to do some research before next show at the end of the week. Has a team ever won a World Series without a top 3 or 5 MVP guy, and without that guy on the pitching staff too, because they're not going to have a Cy Young finalist?
Well, they don't have a Cy Young finalist, but they got a lot of really
they got great pitching, so I'd rule that out with them. And Freddie Peralta is the best of the rest when it comes to the Cy Young.
Yeah. And Mizorowski's great, and Woodruff's been really good, and Quintana, my guy, really good.
I don't know if a team's ever won a World Series, or somebody definitely has. I don't know when the last time a team to win a World Series with this average of an offense statistically, because across the board, it's average, which is really good.
Yeah.
Because your worst hitters are average. There's not a bad hitter in the lineup. So it works for Milwaukee. But when's the last time a team without a real all-star stud hitter won a World Series? Because they don't have one.
No, they don't. They don't.
Who's their home run leader right now? Yelich with 25.
Yeah.
They have one player with 20 home runs. It's Yelich.
It's insane.
They have 5 players with 10 or more. Hoskins is one of them. Terang, Contreras, Chourio. Chourio has not been as good as you would have hoped this year either.
Bryce Terang.
You got to be excited about Chourio as a player if you're a Brewers fan.
Yeah.
But you would have wanted a little more. And you would have, if you told me this was their record, I would have said Chourio's having a sick year.
Yeah.
It has to be.
But he's been hurt too.
He's been hurt. Yeah. So it's been, they had the Hoskins injury. I don't know how high I'm in Milwaukee. They need Andrew Vaughn to keep hitting like this too.
And the chances of that happening are not high.
Very low. Andrew Vaughn's been an absolute godsend for them. 32 games. He's got 9 home runs, 35 RBIs, and a 989 OPS.
Insane.
But they're clutch.
Caleb
Durbin's been a good player for them this year. Like, those are the bottom of the order guys are just good.
It's what they do. Yankees dominated them early in the year.
Can you believe where we're sitting now after that first 3?
That's the same team.
The Yankees put up like 60 runs.
Yeah.
In that opening weekend.
It's the same team.
Yeah, it's crazy. Brew Crew, they're here.
Back.
They're here. Maybe they're the team for Marte.
Could be.
Maybe they're the team. It's a pretty cheap contract. That's the type of contract they would maybe sign, not as a term, but annually.
Yeah.
In the offseason. That's the money they spend. So
yeah, be
they
big.
have the prospects. We'll see. All right, all good today.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. August 9th, episode 72. Again, sorry for the delayed start. We'll be back probably Friday morning, but big week coming up for the Yankees and big week for the Mets. But the Yankees' biggest series of the year happens this weekend, so we'll be obviously doing a show talking about the Red Sox series. We'll do it after Game 1 so we can overreact to whichever way it's going.
Yep.
And That's it. So thanks for listening. Episode 72. We will be back on Friday. We will do throughout the week No Good Takes, which is Epi Oliveri. We have The Bunker. I'll be probably doing an episode tomorrow. Check out Mic'd Up. Check out The Playbook with Gabe Zoda. He's doing a pod on Friday with a special guest. So check it all out. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And we have big things coming for football season. Cannot stress it enough how big our changes for football season are and our plans for football season are. So make sure you stick around and enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for watching.